Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Saturday, July 1st, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. So far this season, the Minnesota Twins have been struggling at the plate as they are tied for 21st in the majors with a .710 ops while scoring 4.23 runs per game in that span. Designated hitter Byron Buxton, .756 ops, 37 runs, has been struggling this year and has been slashing just .143, .182, .381 with a homer, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs scored in their last 7 games. Bailey Ober is making his 13th start of the year and is doing pretty well as he has a 2.97 ERA and a 1.02 whip in 69.2 innings of work. Hitters have been struggling against him as they have a .219 batting average against thus far. Ober is coming off a no decision against the Detroit Tigers as he threw 6 innings and allowed 3 runs on 5 hits with 1 walk and a season-high 8 strikeouts. The Baltimore Orioles have been doing well offensively throughout the season as well as they are tied for 10th in the sport with a .744 ops while scoring 4.86 runs per game up to this point. Left fielder Austin Hayes, .858 ops, .318 BA, has been doing extremely well and has looked like one of the top hitters lately as he has a .963 ops with 1 homer, 6 RBIs, and a .413 walk to strikeout ratio in his last 15 games. The Baltimore Orioles have been playing well at home this season with a record of 25-16 at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. The Minnesota Twins, on the other hand, have been struggling on the road with a record of 17-23. In the last couple of weeks, the Twins' offense has been averaging 3.43 runs per game, while the Orioles' offense has been averaging 4.17 runs per game. This suggests that the Orioles are the better team overall. Based on these factors, I recommend betting on the Orioles to win this game. When looking at the previous 7 starts for both pitchers, they have been doing well. Bailey Ober is 1-4 with a 3.89 ERA and a 1.07 whip in 39.1 innings, while Kyle Bradish is 2-2 with a 3.63 ERA and a 1.11 whip over 39.2 innings of work. These bullpens have been doing well as Minnesota is 5th with a 3.56 reliever ERA, while Baltimore is 11th with a 3.79 bullpen ERA. The under has hit in 16 of the previous 22 games against one another in Camden Yards, so go with under 8.5 runs in this matchup. Houston Astros vs Texas Rangers. Houston opened game 1 up with a Jose Altuve homer in the first inning. The Astros fell behind by 2 runs, but in the 6th inning Minicio Dubin hit a 2-run double that put the Astros on top and gave them the win. Houston finished with 8 hits on the night, with Chas McCormick being the only Astro to log multiple hits at the plate. Ronald Blanco got the nod and he struck out 2 while walking 4 over 5 innings. He surrendered 3 runs over that span. RHP Hunter Brown is set to take the mound for his 9th road start of the season. The 24-year-old has been solid away from home this season as he holds a 4-1 road record to go with a 3.21 ERA. Over his 47.2 road innings, Brown has struck out 55. However, he's also given up 7 homers on the road, which is the most for any pitching split. During daytime games he's been even more lethal as his ERA drops down to 1.82 and he's holding opponents to .198 in the box. The month of June was arguably his strongest of the season as he finished with an opponent batting average of .195 and allowed just 17 hits over 24.2 innings. In his prior start against the Rangers this season, Brown tossed for 7 innings and gave up 2 runs while striking out 5. The Rangers are ready to turn over a new leaf as the calendar turns over to July. Having lost 5 of their last 7, with 3 of those losses coming at home, Texas is ready to get back Al West leading ways. The Rangers scored their 3 runs in the first 4 innings and were held in check from that point on. The 4th inning included back-to-0 homers from Josh Jung and Jonah Heim. With just 5 hits on the contest, no Ranger player was able to log at least 2 hits. John Gray got the start and over 6 innings he allowed 5 runs and struck out 4. RHP Nathan Eovaldi will take the hump for his 7th home start of the season. Eovaldi has a 9-3 record on the season with 2 of those losses coming from Globe Life Field. While his home ERA is the highest of any pithing split at 3.46, he's holding opponents to their lowest batting average and has struck out 42 batters in his 39 innings hurled. The month of June had ups and downs for Eovaldi as he gave up 5 of his 8 total homers in the 6th month of the year, but he allowed his fewest hits of the season. Speaking of home runs, during daytime games Eovaldi has kept opposing batters largely in check as he's allowed just one bomb during 33.2 daytime innings. The Texas Rangers have been one of the best teams in Major League Baseball (MLB) during daytime games this season. They will have the advantage of starting pitcher Nathan Eovaldi, who has also been successful in daytime games. Eovaldi has a 3.54 ERA in day games this season, compared to a 4.20 ERA in night games. The Rangers also have the league's leading batting average and are second in doubles per game. Even though they have been struggling recently, they still have a potent defense. Opposite them, the Houston Astros starter, Jake Odorizzi, has been a good road pitcher this season. However, he has given up a lot of home runs, and the Rangers have the top-ranked home run hitters in baseball. Overall, I think the Rangers will bounce back and win this game. With Eovaldi having a mixed month of June, he allowed fewer hits than any other month, and he's kept his opponent's batting average relatively tame at home this season also. Brown has thrown well on the road and has tossed his best during daytime contests. His day game opponents are hitting under .200, and he carried that same firepower over the course of June. While Game 1 featured 3 homers, don't expect the batters to have such success here. The play is the under 8.5 runs. Milwaukee Brewers vs Pittsburgh Pirates. After a 6-game losing streak earlier in the month, the Brewers have bounced back and continue to compete for the NL Central. Heading into Friday's game, they're 9-4 over their last 13 games. That includes a 3-game sweep of the Pirates in Milwaukee. Corbin Burnes gets the nod Saturday, and it'll be his 17th start of the 2023 campaign. The right-hander comes into this one at 5.5 with a 4.10 ERA and 1.19 WHIP over 94.1 innings of work. Most recently, he faced the Guardians and gave up 4 earned runs on 8 hits and 2 walks over 5.2 innings. Burnes took a no decision in the 5-4 extra innings victory. Milwaukee's offense has really been its Achilles heel this year. They're currently just 26th overall in runs scored, 324, thanks to the 29th ranked team batting average, .226, and 27th best ops, .675. As for individual efforts, Christian Yelich leads the way in both average, .273, and OBP, .369. Willie Adames has supplied the power with 12 home runs, while Brian Anderson has driven in a team-leading 37 RBI. After a red-hot start to the year, the Pirates dropped off severely and moved down the NL Central standings. However, they found some success over the last week, sweeping the Padres in 3 games and winning 4 of their last 6 overall. Johan Oviedo heads to the bump Saturday, and he'll be making his 17th start of the season. The right-hander is just 3-8 on the year, but owns a 4.06 ERA and 1.38 WHIP. He just faced the Marlins on Sunday and limited them to just 1 earned run on 6 hits over 7.0 innings pitched. However, it was a 2-0 defeat, so Oviedo was saddled with a loss. Pittsburgh is now 0-4 in his last 4 starts. The Milwaukee Brewers and Pittsburgh Pirates are 2 teams battling for position in the National League Central. However, the Brewers have been dominant against the Pirates recently, winning 5 of their last 6 games against them. This includes a 3-game sweep earlier this season. Even though the Brewers' bats haven't been excellent this season, I still recommend betting on them to win this game. They are laying 1.5 runs, which means you would win your bet if they win by more than 1 run. The Brewers' starting pitcher, Corbin Burnes, has been dominant against the Pirates in his career. He has held them to a .200, .250, .333 line over 30 at-bats. Just 2 of those 30 at-bats have gone for extra bases. I think Burnes will have another great outing against the Pirates, and the Brewers will cruise to a multi-run victory. While I think the Brewers do enough to cover the run line, we cannot ignore how poorly these offenses have been this year. They both rank in the bottom third of the league in most major categories. That includes the most important category of them all: runs scored. Pittsburgh is just 23rd in the MLB in runs, 334, while Milwaukee is 26th, 324. On top of that, Johan Oviedo has performed well against Milwaukee in his career. The current roster is slashing just .190, .227, .238 against him over 21 at-bats. Runs should be at a premium in this game, especially if Burnes exits the game with a lead. Then the Brewers can rely on Devin Williams to slam the door. The closer is now 16/17 in save opportunities, with a 1.57 ERA. Let's play the under in Pittsburgh on Saturday. Our total pick is under 7.5 runs.